Well, we had a pretty good start to the month of March, a little bit on the cold side here, but all in all, a pretty good weekend here. Let's take a look at what's ahead here for us. I can promise you that we'll be seeing temperatures warming up a little bit here in West Michigan, and it will be dry most of the day today. There could be a shower sneaking in late today, especially if you're southwest of Grand Rapids, but most of us will stay dry for most of the day. If you got some errands to run, pick early morning to midday. You got a better chance for staying dry. And there is certainly the likelihood for rain, and our most significant rainstorm of the year so far, from Monday night to Wednesday, we could see a half to 1 inch of rain. It will be warmer here, like I said, the next 3 days, low 40s this afternoon. Got some nice, couple nice photos from Tony Koyman, who was over at Holland State Park today. I checked the weather station. They actually have a weather station there right by the channel, and the high temperature there was 27 today, so that was a pretty chilly day. The average high temperature for this time of year is about 39. As you can see, there's still a lot of ice there near shore. Excuse me. And nice to see a little bit of blue sky between the clouds here during the day today. Here's a second picture. That's looking out to the west here through the channel. You can see there's more ice than that. Be a little while before the boats come in and out of there, but I'm sure the first fishing boats will be out as soon as it warms up a little bit later on toward mid-month. We'll take a little look at the sunset from our GLERL camera. GLERL stands for Great Lakes Environmental Research Lab, and they have cameras set up around the Great Lakes, take some great pictures, and we're glad that we can grab a sunset picture off of that. The sun is coming back to the north at a pretty good clip. Sunrise time today at 7:14, sunset at 6:34. We're gaining almost 3 minutes of daylight each day now as we move toward the vernal or spring equinox. Well, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor. Take a listen.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans. Plus, move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
And we certainly want to thank them for sponsoring us here for a few weeks in late February and early March. Here's 72-hour snowfall. That white color indicates no snow is expected over the next 3 days over lower Michigan, but look what's going on in the western UP. Another storm system is going to come up, and this one is a low-pressure system that'll come pretty much right over Grand Rapids. It may be Muskegon to Big Rapids or so, but the cold side of it, there will be snow. You can see a nice band of snow developing from southeast Minnesota through northern Wisconsin up into the UP, where there will be some lake enhancement there. And again, that yellow color indicates the possibility of 6 inches of snow, the orange color up to 8 inches of snow. So if you're traveling in the area west of Marquette in the western UP, expect some tough driving here as that snow moves in here, especially during the day on Tuesday into Wednesday. Here's what weather looks like today here in West Michigan. Temperatures warming up by about 10 degrees as opposed to what we had yesterday. Start out kind of chilly at 18 in the morning, but we're up to 42 this afternoon. It will become cloudy during the day. If there's any sun, it'll be in the morning. And look for that chance of a shower sneaking in real late in the day. Humidity, though, much of the day should be low at 50%. That's low for this time of year. We'll have a south wind, only around 5 miles an hour to start the day, but that should kick up to about 10 to 15 miles here during the afternoon. And we'll take a look at some high temperatures across the area. 42 degrees today for Grand Rapids. You travel down towards St. Louis, it'll be close to 60 here today. And that red area out in the plains indicates places where temperatures will be 20 degrees warmer than normal this afternoon. Taking a look at the temperatures here for Tuesday, you can see the warmest air heads over the Great Lakes here, and temperatures here will be approaching 50. I'll be in the mid-60s down toward Louisville. Michelle, you get a really nice day in Birmingham with temperatures up into the low to mid-70s, but watch out for some storms to roll in here come Tuesday night, especially through the southern United States, where there could be some significant storm activity there. We'll take a look then at the 5-day forecast. 42 today. Again, if there's any sun, it'll be in the morning. Gets kind of windy here Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday, and there'll be some rain showers developing. I could see over half an inch of rain here, the heaviest rainfall that we've had here in quite a while since last year, really. That may end with a little bit of wet snow here during the day on Thursday. We're not anticipating anything major here. And temperatures cool off, but not drastically cold. We're in the upper 30s for Thursday and 40 on Friday. Taking a look at the severe weather outlook areas for this Monday. We're expecting severe weather in the southern plains states, Oklahoma, down into North Texas, maybe down as far as Dallas. The marginal rate comes up almost to the Nebraska border, and there's a chance for an isolated thunder shower, not severe, all the way up to southern Lake Michigan, Chicago, late this afternoon and this evening. Taking a look at Tuesday, that's probably the biggest severe weather day in the orange color, and enhanced risk over parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Slight risk area up to the Iowa border, and there is an outside chance of a thunder shower in southwest lower Michigan down toward the Benton Harbor and Dowagiac areas. Then Wednesday, the severe weather outlook area is on the East Coast. That does include Washington, D.C., Baltimore, almost up to Philadelphia or so. So once again, pretty nice day shaping up for today. Not terribly warm yet, but the 8 to 14 day outlook has us in that deep red color. And that tells me that we're going to get a couple of days at least in the 60s here, if not touching 70 for the mid part of the month, that second week of March. So if you're waiting for some warm air, hang on, it's coming our way. I want to say hi to Michelle here, who's joining us here, and you got some interesting things for us this morning. Here's a look at temperatures here for some cities around the country. Jacksonville, Florida, 66 degrees. I believe Jacksonville is still the biggest city in the United States geographically. It has the most number of square miles. They've annexed some swampy areas and whatnot here, but that's kind of an interesting fact.
I've been to St. Augustine. It was lovely.
I have been there, and I have not been there since I was a kid, and it was really pleasant.
Did you take a family trip there?
We did when I was a kid. We went down there, and I believe St. Augustine, isn't that the oldest city in Florida?
So they
First
say.
one that was settled. Yeah.
Was that
Muskegon
Ponce
I believe so. Looking for the Fountain of Youth.
I had to do a report on him in the 8th grade.
As you can see, I have not found the Fountain of Youth yet. I'm still looking. It may show.
It's funny what you remember. There's so little that I remember from school, but I remember I had to write a report on Ponce de Leon in the 8th grade. Mr. Bolema.
There's a kind of a curve to the Florida, Georgia, South Carolina coast there, and that's an area that doesn't see too many hurricanes. It's a little tougher to get a direct hurricane hit right on Jacksonville there. But anyhow, Muskegon 38 today, and probably only about 30. I think the wind goes south-southwest at the lakeshore today, where it should hold temperatures in the mid 30s right at the water.
As I was saying before, I remembered to turn my mic on. Those first couple days of spring in Michigan always feel so warm and so nice.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get out to our 3-season porch. Phoenix, Arizona, a little cooler at 61 for an average temperature here this afternoon. They haven't had many cool days, and it's certainly been dry, very dry pattern this winter across Arizona and Southern California. Northern California's had a lot of rain, but not Southern California.
Okay, on this day in history, we've got another plane crash. It was 1974, and this time it was a Turkish Airlines Flight 981, and the plane was flying from Istanbul, stopping in Paris, and traveling on to London. It stopped in Paris, and then the cargo door wasn't latched properly, and that model of plane, the design of the door was designed to swing out because that maximized cargo space on the plane. However, if it didn't latch properly, it could cause explosive decompression, and in this case, it caused a plane to crash. At the time, it was the deadliest crash in aviation history, but sadly, that record only lasted for a handful of years. And it was a DC-10, and you can tell the DC-10 because it's got that third engine on the vertical stabilizer in the back. And the commercial planes that we fly today, they don't have those. It went out of style. It just wasn't the best design. The modern designs are better with the engines and the way they place them now. But the DC-10, it did have that third engine on the back. So the cargo door.
No, I was going to say, we have had incidents where a door has blown out and they've landed the plane safely.
Yeah. Yep. So this one, unfortunately not. But yeah, like you said, it has been an issue in other aviation incidents in the 70s and 80s. And in this one, there were multiple failures. So the flaw in the design was known, and they had ordered a reinforcement part for it, but they never installed it on the plane. And then in addition, they posted warning signs on the plane so that the cargo workers would know exactly what to do and be sure to check for that flaw and make sure everything was good. But they only posted it in English and Turkish while the plane stopped in Paris, where the worker didn't speak either of those languages. So as you can imagine, it led to some pretty massive lawsuits because there was some loss of life that could have been prevented.
Yeah.
So
and
today in history, in 1952, when little Bill was not yet 1 year old, there was a significant U.S. Supreme Court decision. This was the Alder versus Board of Education, which is really interesting. At the time, New York had a law, because this was during the Red Scare, that communists, if you registered with the Communist Party, you couldn't teach in the public schools. So, of course, someone challenged this, saying that it was a violation of free speech and free association, and it made it all the way to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court upheld it. They said that it was constitutional. And the logic at the time was that the people who wanted to teach in the public schools were not being deprived of their free speech rights because the government wasn't telling them what to say. The government was just telling them, but okay, if you say that, then you can't teach in our schools. So that was the logic that they used. And as you can imagine, that logic only lasted for 15 years. It was overruled and undermined by a number of subsequent court decisions, including, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Kagishian versus Board of Regents in 1967, which also involved the state of New York. And they said, which is as it is now, that any limitation on a fundamental right like free speech has to be as precise as possible. It's got to be narrowly tailored so that we don't restrict people's liberties more than necessary. And they said that it was just too vague to say that anyone who says that they agree with a certain philosophy can't do something and can't do this or that. And of course, when they tell someone that they can't do a privilege or an opportunity like becoming a teacher or working for the government, they are taking away, they are infringing on someone's rights or privileges. So that quote down there, quoting another case, was that it's too late in the day to doubt that the liberties of religion and expression may be infringed by the denial or placing of conditions upon a benefit or privilege. So if you say, if you believe this, you can't teach in our schools, you are infringing on someone's rights, and they didn't do that in a way. So that was unconstitutional. So it was later overruled, but on this day in history, March 3, 1952, the original Alder versus Board of Education decision was issued. So
52 was an interesting time, Michelle, because Eisenhower was becoming president. He was our general in World War II, and a popular man. He was reelected overwhelmingly over Adlai Stevenson in 1956. And of course, that was at the time when we had Stalin over in Russia, who was a really bad guy. And so communism was not very favorable in terms of the practical application there in Russia, everything that they were doing to enslave the countries of Eastern Europe. So an interesting time.
Who's the first president that you remember?
I remember Eisenhower. I still have a button that my mother got. One of everything was buttons back then, and my mother saved one of the "I like Ike" buttons.
You do have a really cool collection of political buttons. They're pretty good.
I have one from Alf Landon, who ran against FDR in, I think, 1936, maybe. 30 was it 30? 32 was maybe it was 32 or 36, but. Alf Landon was from Kansas, and FDR was elected pretty handily after the Depression. He won he actually won fourth term, and then we scaled back and said that a person could only be president for 2 terms or 8 years.
It's funny how fast you forget. I probably can't name a lot of the running mates or the opposition from back in the day. I mean, I remember Gore from 2000 and Lieberman. Al Smith that ran against Herbert Hoover. But I only know that because in the musical Annie, there's a line in one of the songs, they offered us Al Smith and Hoover. So that's the only reason that I know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Well, that's interesting.
Anyways, yeah. Okay, so more lighthearted things. It is Fun Facts About Names Day. So I like to look for fun holidays and things that we can celebrate and talk about. So, fun facts about a name. Let's do William. It is from the German Wilhelm, which is a masculine name meaning resolute protector. And it is the seventh.
Oh, here I am, Mr. Muscles.
Will you protect us from not knowing the temperature? So you protect us from storms and whether we need a light jacket or a real coat. Okay, so seventh most popular name in the United States, but it is sadly declining in popularity for all the Williams.
It's hung on a long time. All the names from my generation, James and John, and those have declined over the years, which is usually the case. I mean, names run in cycles. My father was John Williams, so he reversed those, and I'm William John. And of course, my father was a 100% Luxembourger, so I guess that's a Germanic type name. Luxembourg is between France, Belgium, and Germany. My grandparents came here they were born in Luxembourg and came over here in about the 1890s or so.
One place I haven't been.
And it's interesting. My grandparents had 8 kids, and all their kids had really simple American names. They really wanted their kids to blend in.
What were they, real quick?
Let's see if I can remember them all. There was George, Phil, Jack, Al, Felix, that was 2 syllables, John, let's see, who am I missing? Hank was the other one. And then there was one girl in the middle of the 7 boys named Mary. But they chose very popular American names. And they wanted English spoken in the house. They didn't want to revert to Luxembourgish. Of course, they were probably one of the very few. I mean, I kid people that you could hold the Luxembourg festival in Grand Rapids in a phone booth. There are that few of us here, but it's an interesting little country. Luxembourg is about the size of Kent County. In fact, it might be even a little bit smaller than Kent County. And it's traditionally had good lifespan, very low drug use, very low unemployment.
Okay, so sadly, it's declining in popularity, and I found conflicting reports about how many exactly are still have that name. I found anywhere from 2.8 million to 4 million.
Yeah,
and it is also
quite a
declining
few.
in popularity in other countries. All right.
I see a monastery.
Oh, you do?
Good. Not too many monks could fit in there, I would imagine.
Oh, good, because my screen is frozen and I can't see what's next.
Oh, okay.
So
we have there was a lake up there, and it said Upper Lake, and I'm assuming.
Oh, here we go. Okay, we're back. Okay, good.
You were just over in the UK, so.
Lots of glitches. We're recording live.
Okay.
Okay, so what country was I in?
I would say the UK.
Upper Lake. If you've been on this trip, you probably know. And here's another hint. It's where the St. Kevin Monastery is, which was founded in the 6th century.
6th century.
The month of March would be another hint, because there's a holiday coming up.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day, Ireland.
Yeah, this is Ireland, where we managed to make it in September. Yeah, really, really beautiful.
Pretty place.
Okay,
and that typical stratocumulus deck that's persistent over the UK.
Yeah.
Ireland. Neat.
And there he is. Speaking of German, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Flauschige Katze. That's the German translation for fluffy cat.
Fluffy cat. Okay.
Yeah. So that's Ollie. That's his Monday face.
Yeah, he looks like he's enjoying the day.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, I want to thank all of you for hanging with us here till the end, and I hope you have yourself a fantastic day.
Yeah.
I hope you can join us tomorrow. We'll have an update on the severe weather in the south and an update on all the rain that's headed our way. And you have a cat.
And there's a kitty.
And
Rosie,
that's
say
not
hi.
Ollie.
Wish everybody a good Monday.
That's Rosie the cat.
Yeah,
So-
Ollie's here too. Rosie's just a little bit faster. If we're gonna get Ollie on, we're gonna have to have Rosie go somewhere else. Here you go, sweetie. So yeah, Grandma found her, and she must have gotten hit by a car or something because her
Yeah,
tail was
lost
a
a
mess.
tail.
Yeah, so
My
she's
mother
fine.
wanted a cat, but didn't want to step on the cat's tail. So she
Yeah.
didn't have a cat. And the Humane Society looked around and found a cat without a tail.
Yeah, she's my
And they were
tailless
best
fluffy
buddies
cat.
for what, 5-6 years?
Yep, and she loves people. Oh, there's the other one.
Here's Fluffy.
Oh, hi, sweetie.
Showing his best side there.
No, we got kitties everywhere. Oh, this is a disaster.
Oh,
Ollie, say hi.
camera hog.
So Rosie's loves people so much, the vet recommended that we get a second kitty.
Neat.
So now we've got kitties everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've got 3 of
Okay.
them.
Say goodnight, guys.
They got their nails trimmed today from daughter number 1, and that's a good thing. They were getting their nails stuck in the carpet a little bit. So
All right. Everybody's
Solve
going to
that
go
problem.
crazy, so I better say goodnight.
Yep. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks so much for coming here, checking out the weather and our fun stuff.